Welcome back to another edition of Vikings Film Room, presented by Microsoft Copilot. Now, with the 51st selection of the NFL Draft, the Minnesota Vikings take Jake Golday, linebacker out of the University of Cincinnati. Now, before we get into the film, let's get to know Jake a little bit. One of the things I like most about the Copilot app is it makes it so easy to get to know some of these players. So you look at Jake Golday, you type his name, and all this information comes up. Everything that you really need to know, from his hometown, Arlington, Tennessee, to workout dates. Well, let's get to the film, and I'll show you exactly where these numbers meet the film. Perhaps the most impressive thing about Jake Golday after I turned on the film is his versatility. In this case, you see him as an outside linebacker, but you'll see him playing off the ball. You'll see him walked out on slots. The guy is all over the place. Our outside linebackers have to keep contained. Now, the easy way to do this would just be for Jake to run himself up the field and make the back cut inside. In this case, this running back has declared himself. He kept contained, but he's not giving himself up. He's going to work off of this tight end with those long arms and get back in and make the play. Now this play got me excited. In this case right here, you see Golday lined up, but watch this guard. He is pulling all the way across this formation. Now he's got to get his way over the top of the center. Not easy to do, but he does this so well. Watch this. Guard pulls, gets himself over the top, works his way back in, and makes the tackle. We've seen his zone awareness in space. Now, let's take a look at him as an inside linebacker. Again, on the back side of a slot formation, you got a tight end, a running back over here. He is in the box. And you're going to see a lot of the same thing. As this play develops, watch the awareness. Drops out to the flat, but because he's taking a look at what these receivers are doing, he's noticing he's getting a 7 route here and a flat route here, all because of what? To clear out the middle of the field. He's already gone through his progression. He already knows where they want to go with this football, so he sets his feet, eyes on the quarterback to see the release, and when he does, watch this speed, watch this burst, boom! Zone progression, reading keys, reading routes, and then getting to where he needs to be. That's very tough for a former defensive end to be doing. Watch this play right here. You see Golday on the outside. It's going to be a counter his way. Now that tight end is going to work his way up to him, but he's able to get the knee bend and get his pads below the blocker. Now what happens? Well, again, he has contain on this play, but he's like, I'm not just going to do my job. I'm going to blow this guy up and get back in and make the tackle. Awesome at the point of contact, great instincts. Love what Golday does as an inside linebacker. Another very tough play for linebackers, especially when an offense wants to take advantage of you, are screens. Let's show you what's going on right here. You look at the top of your screen, you've got a running back kind of motioning out. They do that just for a little bit of eye candy. They're trying to run 2 receivers to clear out the safety, the corner, the flat defender. Why? Because they're running the screen. Now, Golday smells a rat here and notices one important thing. These offensive linemen are already working their way toward him. This is not a pass. This is a screen. Now what does he do? Puts that 40 in action, north and south, gets around the offensive lineman, comes back and makes a great tackle. This is a beautifully played screen defensive action. Outside linebacker on the line of scrimmage, right over the tight end. On the snap of the football, he's getting a good jam, and now he's starting to settle into his drop, but he's aware of what's going on behind him, and that's a switch route where the receiver comes in and runs a post, and this tight end comes up the field and runs a 7 route. They want to take advantage of this space right here. Golday knows that he's continuing to drop, but this ball gets delivered so quickly, he has to use that long reach, that vertical jump, the wingspan, the height, all comes into play to bat this football down and make it an incomplete pass. Another great example of zone awareness is an outside linebacker. You see Golday at the top of your screen. You got a couple wide receivers to his outside. He's going to mix himself in this coverage beautifully here. So first of all, he steps up to show the blitz. Now he's dropping back into space. And as this route is developing, he right now has a feel for what's going on. You've got a short curl route here on the outside. You're going to get something deep. What the offense is trying to do is open up this area right here. Not where he's standing right now, but he knows where this receiver is going to go. So what does he do? puts his foot in the ground, and look at his speed. Just turns and runs and covers the tight end on his crossing route. So I saw this and I'm thinking, how fast is this kid? Well, it's amazing. You just jump into Copilot and ask, what were Jake Golday's 40-yard dash times? And boom, it throws everything up. A 4.640 speed on this kid. So at 6'4.5", around 240 pounds, this kid's running a 4.64. Then he turns around on his second attempt and runs a 4.62, which is faster. So he beats his initial time, shows you about his competitiveness, and his official 4.62. This kid has all the tools you need to be the next Andrew Van Ginkel. Now, before we get carried away with the Van Ginkel comparisons, we got to see if Jake can rush the passer. Let me show you this play right here. This is a great example of him off the edge. Now, he's already shown all the other things he can do, but he can also get after the quarterback. This is where the hands come in. He's going to need some work on this, going to have to get better, but watch the hand sweep of this tackle and then the bend to get underneath, to get back up to the back of the offensive tackle and make this quarterback dump the football off quickly. So overall, with the aid of the Copilot app, I'm able to look up the immense height, the weight, the speed of Jake Golday. You put all that together with a linebacker who has awareness inside the box, outside the box. This kid has a ton of potential, and I cannot wait to see where he fits in this Brian Flores defense.